Hello and welcome, my Sagittarius friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for the full wolf moon for my Sagittarius friends. This month, the full wolf moon brings with it a lunar eclipse. Eclipses are kind of that celestial checkpoint, if you will. They seem to open doors to new and exciting pieces and aspects in our lives, and at the same time slam other doors shut. It can be kind of abrupt and kind of unnerving a bit. The energy of the eclipses really remind me of the tower energy, that shocking jolt, if you will. In December, we had a solar eclipse, which brought in a lot of great new ideas and possibilities into our lives. Now, we're on a lunar eclipse now. And the difference between the solar and the lunar is that the lunar likes to do the implementation of those new ideas brought on by the solar eclipse. So in today's reading, what we're going to look at is how the lunar eclipse and the full wolf moon are going to impact you and support you in incorporating some changes into your life. Now, the deck I'm using for this reading is the Witch's Tarot and the Energy Oracle. Like always, there are links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Additionally, this is the spread I'm going to be using for the reading. It's very similar to the solar eclipse spread I used in December. I'm not going to refer back and forth to it, rather I put a link below so that you can access it as you need throughout this reading, and should you need in the future as well. Alright, my Sagittarius friends. See what the cards have to say today. What will the full wolf moon and lunar eclipse bring my Sagittarius friends? The Nine of Cups. Nines are about all that hard work, all that you've achieved in your life. The Cups, about that intuition and emotion. The Nine of Cups does literally talk about all those amazing aspects in our lives. The lunar eclipse and full moon are going to give you that opportunity to really make some assessment and reflect in on what's happening in your life. Focusing in on those positive pieces, because we have more abundance and more positive aspects in our lives than we acknowledge. There's a lot of little pieces that sometimes we forget we have. And it can easily be overlooked. And it's those pieces that we're overlooking that are going to help us be able to really refine what it is we're doing and how we want to go forward. All right, got cards jumping already before I even ask the question. What guidance does the full wolf moon and lunar eclipse bring my Sagittarius friends? I enjoy it when the cards hit the floor. It's a Seven of Wands. Sevens are a bit of a conflictual number. However, they're usually victorious. The Seven of Wands talks about the need to be able to confront all those pieces that your ego is going to throw up at you. Because when we start to assess and reflect, our ego gets a little defensive. You're going to have a lot of resistance from within. Using our courage and determination, our solar plexus, and being able to stay true to our course, we need to really reflect on what we truly have in our life. When we start to reflect on what we have in our life, we can really amplify that positive, loving energy. This assessment time will also help you to understand where you're hiding and where that low vibrational energy is hiding and residing within you, so that you are able to make some shifts and changes. We're not so much making shifts and changes thus far. This is more about that assessment piece. We need to figure out and determine what it is we have, kind of that taking stock, so we know what we need to do in the future. This energy that the eclipse is bringing us gives us a time to really reflect, go deep in, and spend that time with ourselves so we can see them. The abundance piece isn't that tangible. It's that emotional, spiritual, those gifts, those abilities, those skills. That's where we need to go. Not with just the, oh, I have the greatest and latest of this. All right, let's go on to 3. What support does the full wolf moon and lunar eclipse bring my Sagittarius friends? The King of Swords, that knowledge piece. Kings are that fully developed personality. Swords, truth and knowledge. What the eclipse and the moon are bringing you is that solid foundation that you're really going to be able to go up and out. We're starting to plant some seeds. We're starting to get that foundation piece. And the King of Swords is going to be essential. He carries that sword of truth and knowledge. He's going to be able to help you weed out and pick out those important pieces and throw back that stuff that isn't working. And we don't want to stay in focus on what isn't working. We want to stay high vibrational. We want to stay in that 9. We want to stay on what it is we have. The King offers that ability, that foundation of truth and knowledge. Really going with your head rather than your heart throughout this. We do start with that emotional center. However, we need to kind of get in there and really pull apart that 9 so that we can weed out the lower stuff and really solidify that higher vibrational piece. That head versus heart is going to be important, that you go with the King and his direction rather than following your heart and that emotional aspect. All right, let's go on to question 4. What abrupt shift will the lunar eclipse bring my Sagittarius friends? The Fool, the 0 card in the Major Arcana. The Fool talks about that carefree leap of faith energy. What we're really going to be focusing in on and what shift we're looking at is kind of a lightening of our load. When we're not so hyper-focused on those lower vibrational pieces and we start to focus on what we really do have, we feel lighter. We're like, yeah, look at this. This is amazing. We get that carefree attitude so that we can let the universe take over a little bit. We focus in on that passion because, like I said, we're going to have to defend ourselves. However, these are the wands. Wands are about that creative passion, that inner drive. We focus in on what's going right, what really drives us, makes things fun, that we really enjoy doing. When we focus in on that, bringing in that carefree, and I don't want to say attitude, but that energy, we still have to pay the bills and we have to do that everyday tasks of our lives. However, when we bring in the energies of that creative passion, when we let the universe take care of some of this stuff and we're functioning from that higher vibrational energy, that's when things start to manifest in our lives. The universe is able to bring in aspects, ideas, direction that we would have never thought of. We have blinders on. We don't have that bigger picture. The universe does. And it's time to let the universe come in and start giving us direction. First direction, focus in on what we have, kind of start to weed out and release what isn't working. And the easiest way to do that is by focusing in on what is, focusing in on what makes you happy. Because when we don't give the power and energy to what isn't working, those pieces we want to get rid of, we release them. We're not giving them that time, energy, and acknowledgement that it needs. On to question 5. How will this shift impact my Sagittarius friends? The Knight of Wands. We're going to feel ready to move forward. We're going to feel lighter. We're going to have this burning power and passion inside of us. And we're going to be like, yeah, it's time to get going. I'm pumped and stoked to start that new aspect, to start creating more abundance and more fulfillment and joy in my life. The day before, the night of, and the day after, we're really going to be able to embrace these energies. And this doesn't have to take a lot of time. Focusing in on ourselves, raising our vibration isn't going to take days. Give yourself an hour or two. Focus in on that positive, and you're really going to feel that energy shift. Where you've kind of felt a little bit sluggish and a little bit low, you're going to have more get up and go. And that get up and go is going to really help bring you forward. It's going to help you charge into that next aspect, to charge in to overcoming those obstacles in your lives. Okay, question 6. I've already got jumpers. How can the full wolf moon and lunar eclipse support my Sagittarius friends in incorporating this shift into their lives? The Eight of Pentacles. Eights are about movement and manifestation. Pentacles, growth and abundance. When we're looking at the Eight of Pentacles, we're looking at that skill development. Really focusing in and honing in our craft. Connects highly into that 7, that passion center. Like I said, we're looking at that creativity. When we start to focus in on those creative aspects of our lives. And like I've said in the past, it doesn't mean arts and crafts. It's the way you express yourself. Yes, it could be through that artistic element. However, it can also be through computer programming or fixing something. It doesn't have to be a quote-unquote creative artistic endeavor. It's how you express yourself is going to be key. When you're having that fun, you're really enjoying yourself, and you're getting out of your head. We want to focus in on that critical thinking. However, we don't want to start to overthink and become that tyrant where we're micromanaging the universe. It's that carefree energy that we need. Critical thinking is important so we can question and assess what's happening in our lives. We can start to question and assess how our passions are incorporated into what we do in a day, how we can increase that. How can we bring in that high vibrational, unconditional loving energy into our everyday? That Eight of Pentacles really talks about that fine detail work. And it's going to be that critical thinking where we bring it into our everyday. Those fine details. Those little pieces that are easily missed. Now, this caught my attention as I was talking. We've got the 7, the 8, and the 9. We're starting to see those little steps. I've said in other videos how it's really important that when we're looking at making changes in our lives, that we do it slowly and that we take those little steps. And we have those little steps here. Slow and sustainable is going to be key, which really highlights the importance of slow, sustainable change. That's going to be a key element for you, my Sagittarius friends, as you go forward. I know inherently we're looking at that fire sign really getting us worked up, and when we're looking at something, we like to go full blown, full steam ahead. We need to take it slow, and we need to be very critical and mindful of what you're trying to change and what you're bringing into your life and into your daily routine. All right, and finally, question 7. How can the full wolf moon and lunar eclipse support my Sagittarius friends in implementing this shift? The Two of Cups. Twos are about duality and choice. The cups, about that intuition and emotion. Now, I know a lot of you are like, yay, a relationship. It's not that kind of relationship, I'm sorry. The question was, how can the full wolf moon and lunar eclipse support my friends in implementing this shift? how the moon and eclipse are going to support you in that is helping you strengthen that relationship with your higher self. And that's an important relationship to take forward. I know many people are looking at trying to find and reinforce relationships right now. The one relationship we need to work on during the full wolf moon and through the eclipse is that relationship with ourselves, that higher self. When we have that divine masculine and divine feminine in balance, you're going to see that your energies and your vibration raise substantially, which then again, we're looking at that abundance piece raising as well, because our vibration is going to be a lot higher. We're going to be able to gain that insight and direction from the universe, from our higher selves and those higher vibrational beings with ease and understanding. All right, let's go on into a blessing. What blessing can my Sagittarius friends embrace for the full wolf moon and lunar eclipse? The sun, very much connected into the major arcana, the sun. That loving, warm, joyous, happy energy, that divine energy really warms up and brings out that unconditional loving energy. We started off with the Nine of Cups. We're starting off on a high. This is not a major shift for you. We're not looking at one of those abrupt shifts I talked about at the beginning. The Tower is not jolting us here. We're looking at a little nudge, if you will. And that little nudge, and again, we're reinforcing that. We have 0, 1, and 2. Little baby steps to really refining what it is you have in your life so that you're able to amplify and create more. Then we have action. Connects right back into that night where we're looking at that movement. It is time to make a little bit of a shift. One little shift in raising that vibration brings in a lot more energy. Gives you that ability to really take on and head into that next challenge, that next aspect. Because we can't stay stagnant for too long. Because that's when the Tower does come along and boot us in the butt. And then Healer of the Ages. With raising our vibration and connecting into our higher self, we're going to find that we're able to start to heal some of those past pieces so that we are able to overcome some of those lower vibrational energies that have been holding us back. Some of the shift that you want to do with the Nine of Cups, you may not feel ready to. Hold it off into the back of your mind. Write it down. This is some of the stuff I need to deal with. That healing aspect needs to take time. It took years and lifetimes to get us to where we are right now. We can't expect to shift and change everything instantly. Allowing yourself to take that time. Embrace this fun, the love, the joy that is happening in your lives so that you are able to continue that healing process. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the full moon and lunar eclipse are offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that I'm going to be adding to my channel in the upcoming months and year. So that you don't miss any of the healing and wisdom that the higher vibrational beings want to share with us, the best way to stay connected is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. And in some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Sagittarius friends.